morning, guys, and welcome back to the next episode of Kansas City Tour Guides. I'm Tina.
And I'm Chris.
And today we are here at the Overland Park Farmers Market. So you can kind of see in the background.
Yep.
It is one of the biggest, the
It's
second
one of the
biggest.
most popular farmers markets in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that's important because we are still 1,153 days away from the start of the World Cup. But there's so much to do in Kansas City, we just need that much time to talk about it all. And this is one of those places.
Yeah, and so this is probably Overland Park is probably a little further away than many of you might stay, but on a Saturday morning, the farmers market's great. There's
all the nice
adorable
hotels
shops.
and everything
There's
are kind of in this
great
area.
hotels
Yeah.
here, and there's like little specialty shops. It's great. So we'll do an episode on that at some point, but today...
Well, plus the people who live in the area need to know about the Overland Park Farmers Market too. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, but our main focus today is the weather.
The weather.
The weather in Kansas City is what we're going to talk about. So,
Because it's always calm and normal and predictable is our weather.
absolutely. Not at
No.
all. Okay, so we are here today, and it's about like 57 degrees. It's chilly.
You know what that is in Celsius? It's 57 Fahrenheit, which is
I feel
15,
stupid.
14, 13, somewhere in that area Celsius, I think.
So, anyway, it is chilly, and people smarter than me are wearing winter coats.
I never wear coats, so it's
Yeah.
not a thing. Yeah.
I am freezing, but I did not pay attention to my own advice because yesterday it was 80 degrees.
Yep. And then a rainstorm moved in.
Then
And
it
if
had a huge
you can
thunderstorm.
see back here, those are all clouds. There's no blue sky anywhere.
No blue sky.
And yesterday was beautiful. It was perfect weather.
And now it is very cold again. But weirdly enough, we're also expecting more thunderstorms this afternoon, hail, rain.
And tomorrow I
stuff.
think it's supposed to be sunny again.
Sunny and 80 again. So this is by far not the most drastic weather change we've had. We've had it snow and be 80 in a week.
Yep.
Literally in a span of like 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, when you come to Kansas City to travel, you need to be prepared for the weather. Like, don't look at the weather ahead
All
of
the weather.
time. Yeah, and think, oh, I just need this or that. No.
Although it's not going to snow, right?
It's not going to snow in the summer, but bring a jacket.
Yep.
Because it could get very chilly at night. If
Bring
the
something
rain moves
waterproof.
in,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, don't wear your nicest shoes, like, in the puddles.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is we live in the middle of the country. And so I always joke and say we get everybody else's crap weather, and that's kind of true. If there's a hurricane in Florida and there's been real bad rainstorms all across the Gulf, which is south of us, and in Florida, which is the southeast of us, a lot of times the remnants of those storms come to Kansas City. It could be snowing up in Minnesota, which is 8 hours by car north of us. And then we get that weather coming down. So you really can, during the World Cup, you will be able to experience really all three of the seasons, maybe. Or,
Yeah.
or it'll
it
just
could
be 90 and 100%
150
humidity. Yeah,
degrees
exactly.
and really hot. So just be prepared. Bring a jacket. Bring short sleeves. You won't need your winter coat.
No, you won't need your winter coat, but you might need a jacket.
Yeah.
Rain is going to be the big one because it's not quite like Florida, which just kind of randomly gets 3 p.m. rainstorms. But storm fronts will develop and come in and rain on us, and so you do want to account for that.
So the other thing with weather in Kansas City, are we going to talk about the?
Might as well.
Okay. Tornadoes.
Hold on, wait, no. Before we go to tornado, let's talk about humidity real quick. Because, again, we're in the middle of the country. The air here gets very, very humid. So there'll be days when it could be 80, but the feels like temperature is like 100, and you'll walk outside and you'll just feel hot and sweaty and gross. Hydrate during those times. We'll have a whole bunch of videos on things you can do inside, and that might be one of the times you want to try some of those. Because it can just feel kind of gross when it gets humid.
Yeah, and the good news is I have been reading about Europe. Apparently you don't get free water in Europe at a restaurant. Here you can have all the water you can
That's
drink
true.
in a
That's
restaurant.
true, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Perfect.
Okay, so tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
So I know coming to the Midwest, you're probably like, I'm going to die in a tornado. You've
All
seen
the
the
time.
movies.
Yep. We've died 4 times each.
No. So truth of the matter is, used to be worse here. Like we call it Tornado Alley, which is where most of the tornadoes hit, and it actually seems to be shifting to the south and the east.
Yep.
So places like Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, who got hit just recently, Georgia. Those states down there are
Mississippi.
actually...
You say that?
Yeah, I said Mississippi.
Well, Mississippi.
They're actually having a heck of a time with tornadoes right now, and there has been large outbreaks, and there could be a large outbreak, but here's the thing. It's not going to surprise you. Like,
Right.
you will hear about it on the weather. They can predict those things.
There'll be loud sirens.
Loud sirens.
Yep.
You can sign up on your phone. We're trying to figure out, we don't know if it's an international thing. We're trying to figure out from some of our international friends if you can sign up for the alerts. But generally, if you're from this country, so like if you're coming here from California and you're afraid of tornadoes, you can sign
Okay,
up
we're afraid of earthquakes. So,
on your phone to get the weather alerts that are local, and it will tell you. So a watch, a tornado watch, or a severe thunderstorm watch, anything that says watch, just means that like the conditions in the atmosphere are right.
Favorable for a tornado.
Yeah, they are favorable. If you hear a warning, that means that someone has
It's time for you to
spotted.
find a safe shelter.
Yeah, that they on the radar they're seeing circulation, that there's probably a tornado.
Yep.
If you hear words like tornado emergency or an alert that says PDS, which stands for particularly dangerous situation, that is when you really need to be aware.
Yep.
That is when
Unless you're from the
have those-
Midwest, which in case you just go out and watch the tornado, because we're not smart when it comes to tornadoes. But
But even then, like that is those movie level tornadoes that you see. Like when you see the PDS or the tornado emergency, that is like the F4, F5 tornadoes spawning 4 or 5 tornadoes at the same time.
okay, what's an
Tornadoes-
F4?
Okay, so tornadoes are measured in how high their wind speed is. It goes from an F0 to an F5. And so that...
So the bigger the number, the worse, basically.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
And it... You know how they judge that?
Somebody gets outside and puts their finger up in the air, and if it turns real cold, no? Okay.
No. So a lot of times they have to do that, well, all the time, they do that after the tornado hits. And it all depends on, like, structures. So, like, an
really?
F0 is, like... I don't
Things
know.
got knocked over
Don't,
kind of thing.
yeah, don't quote me on this, but like an F5 is something like
Swap of
strong
construction.
brick buildings are knocked down. Like it goes based on like building materials and stories and like roofs and like what the damage level is. Is how they judge the tornado.
So let's bring this home then real quick, because we talked a lot about the weather and maybe not the most exciting topic. If you hear a warning, if you're staying in a hotel, there will be instructions in the room, usually on the door out to the outside of the hotel, into the hallway or whatever. There will be instructions on what you're supposed to do if there's a fire or tornado. If you've not been in a situation where there might be a tornado, it takes 30 seconds to read. So they're going to tell you where to go. If you are doing an Airbnb or a Vrbo, most structures here in the area have basements. Get to a basement and get away from any walls that might have a window. If you don't have a basement, get yourself into a room where there's no window, so bathroom or whatever, and cover up.
And cover up, like you could, like if you're really worried about it, you can get into the bathroom in the bathtub and pull one of the mattresses off of the bed and cover up with that. But yeah, you want to be in a place where there's not like glass to shatter.
At least
on
a
you.
blanket or something like that, just in case, to protect yourself from flying debris.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is still a thing in other places, but I know in the Midwest, remember they used to tell you to go open all the windows?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay.
It's a waste of time. It's not a pressure thing. Don't open the windows, just get to somewhere safe. If you are out and about, okay, some places
Good call.
will not let you in. Some places will keep you in. Like in Hy-Vee, there was that tornado once and we all had to sit in the freezer for an hour. It was very cold. But
You were alive. You would have lived. Something bad happened.
so try your best to get to somewhere safe. Stop at a gas station. A lot of people are nice and will let you in, but just do your best. Don't try and outrun it.
Overpasses, right? Do you park under an
Don't.
overpass? No?
No,
Oh.
no. Okay, so that's a good point. There's a really famous video of people that are on the highway and they went up into the little eaves of the overpass
Yeah.
and the tornado passed over them and they survived. And now people think that, hey, that's what I'm supposed to do. No, because the higher you go up in a tornado, the higher the
I
wind
thought you're
speed.
supposed to park your car under an overpass and not get out.
No, you're supposed to get to low ground.
Okay.
Now, with low ground, just think about the fact too that flooding might occur, so just be careful about that. But don't
When you
hide
say
up in the
low
eaves
ground,
of
are you
the
talking about like
overpass.
getting out of the car and getting into like one of those ditches that a lot of time runs by a highway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like in a desperate emergency. But the good news is, right, is that a lot of times they have enough warning about a tornado on the highway that the police
get to
will actually close that highway in between those 2 points, let the tornado go through over the highway, and then open traffic back up.
Yep.
Which I know sounds weird, but it's like a tornado crossing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've talked about enough about this. We're gonna go back to the farmers market.
And I'm freezing cold right
Well,
now.
she's cold, so yeah, we should probably go inside. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, do the notifications. We've got a long time to talk about our favorite city, and we're gonna keep doing it. So see you next time.
Bye.